Hello, this is True Lovelis, and I'm Anna. I was thinking of making it sound like a doctor's office.
Hello, welcome to True Lovelis. I'm Anna. What organ do you want taken out today?
God, I wish I had the impetus to, maybe impetus isn't the right word, but whatever, to do like a spooky show. That would be fun. Maybe at some point I got to get a bunch of people together to tell spooky stories during the podcast during October. That would be a blast. That's a great idea. Okay, let's get into it. So here's the story. I'm in the middle of Texas and I just woke up and I sort of don't know where I am. Everybody else went out, which is fine. I just need a little time alone.
A little time alone to do my podcast.
But a comment that came up on my Twitter made me think about something from Sani at HV_is_love. She said, keep me in mind to never fall in love anymore, please. I instantly felt compelled to talk about that. Basically because when you love someone and they break your heart, it's really horrible. Or if you love someone and they turn out to be who you didn't think they were, it's horrible. Or any kind of combination of like you love someone and then blah, blah, blah. Besides lasting together for a nice relationship, it's all fucking hell. But here is the thing. You gotta love. You have to love. Like, we're here in flesh and bone, and we're living our lives and creating this journey. We're discovering things every day, even if it feels like the same mundane humdrum day over and over again. We are learning things, meeting people, finding things out about ourselves, digging up answers that we don't even realize subconsciously, okay? So you got to fall in love. And I know this sounds horrible when your heart is broken or when you find out that somebody's an asshole that you didn't expect to be an asshole, or someone's like not nice with your heart, which is not cool at all. I'm not saying it's cool. I'm saying that's not cool. But the thing is that life is a series of different little ups and downs. In love, in your career, in your friendships, the most important thing is learning how to ride the wave, okay? And I know this from being bipolar, that everything is cyclical, okay? It's not just one thing. Everything is cyclical. It all goes up and around and back down and up to where you started, but now you see it differently because of the experiences you took on that first circle, okay? On that first cycle, you had complete innocence, and then you come around and the same thing happens, and then you're like, oh, I sort of know this, and you react differently, and then you go through the whole cycle again. And every time you go through the cycle, life is cyclical. Think of it, the seasons, okay? The way we structure things, the way we relate to one another, everything is cyclical. It goes up and down, or it goes in that, I like thinking of things in a round pattern, because the up and down, I'll talk about the up and down in a second. But if you think of everything as a cycle, okay, just like the way the earth revolves around the sun, planets revolve around, and all of that stuff, you can see how the edges are smoother than you think, okay? So I'm going to talk about this in everything. You guys write to me about loss, about anxiety, about depression, and the truth of the matter is there's not one method that works, okay? I personally find that meditation, journaling is the best. You know, when you're feeling down or you're feeling like really hurt, or you're feeling, and I'm not minimizing, I'm not saying down like, oh, you had a bad day. I'm talking about like down in the deep caves of your soul where you're like, I don't ever want to come out. I understand that feeling. And it's really difficult at that point to pick up a pen and start writing on a piece of paper. but it's the most important thing you can do. You can write all of your shitty feelings, all of your fucked upness, all of it should come out. And the more you keep it in, the harder it is to manage and to filter, okay? So my biggest revelation for me, that I'm trying to tell you guys about, because you ask me all the time, is anxiety and depression are very closely related, And if you don't, one, vent about it, and it doesn't mean vent like drive your best friends crazy. You can talk to your friends, but sometimes when you're in that deep hole for a long time, everybody's going to get real tired of that. So you got to journal and you got to meditate. You got to step back and you have to get help. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. These are not things you can manage on your own. This is the funny thing about mental illness or anxiety or depression. All that stuff is people can't see it. So if I walked into a room and I had a broken arm, I say this all the time to my friends. If I had a broken arm and there were boxes to be carried, nobody would ask me to pick up the boxes. Nobody would do that. They'd be out of their minds. And if they did say, like, can you help carry these boxes? Somebody would go like, dude, look, her arm's broken. What are you, nuts? So when you have like some of that circuitry in your head that's not working correctly, and you put these unnecessary expectations on yourself, like, I'm going to handle this and I'm going to handle that and I'm going to get through this, it just keeps burning you out more. You have to see a doctor and you have to say, hey, my circuitry's not working right. Something's not plugged into the wall here. I need a little help. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, the biggest lesson I ever learned here on this planet so far has been to ask for help. It's amazing because you feel like that breath of air come out that you've been holding in. When we have problems and we have anxiety and depression and bipolar or anything else, the nameless amounts of things that we can have, we constrict our airwaves, we tense up and we're holding on. And when you ask for help, you get to let go. You get to let go. And that's an amazing feeling. You just fall into the hammock of someone else's care. Okay? So you got to do that. Panic and anxiety are not a joke. Got to ask for help. And while you're getting help, when you're feeling anxious, you're at school, you're at your job, you're at home, wherever you are, you just withdraw yourself to a place, okay? Separate yourself from the anxiety. That's one thing. I'm over here, okay? Because all of these things are separate. I'm separate from my anxiety. I'm not my anxiety. I'm not my panic attack. And you breathe 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, and you breathe out, let it all out. And you see all of the stuff going away, okay? And as you're breathing out and letting it all go away, think about something you're really, really grateful for. It can be the simplest thing. The fact that your socks feel good on your feet, or the fact that it's a sunny day, or the fact that it's raining and you like the sound of the rain. Find something that you're grateful for. That when you lay down in your bed, you like the feel of the sheets. Start small, okay? Breathe again, breathe in and breathe out, and think about one other thing you're grateful for. You have a really good friend. They may not understand you all the time, but you have a really good friend, okay? Or my mom and dad really love me, even though I'm not aware of that sometimes, okay? And if you're really caught up in your anxiety and you can't get out of it, just think about, those pictures of the universe where it's like, it looks like it's expanding, all those little specks of light, and there's different colors and like little shadows, and it looks like smoke. Like, connect to that one big gigantic thing that you're a part of. Like, you're a part of this big, beautiful, magnificent thing. Even if you feel insignificant and even if you're having a panic attack, you are a part and parcel of this incredible, amazing thing. And that's all, that's all I think about, honestly. Because I don't know what the universe's plan is, but it's pretty fantastic. And I know that the universe hasn't called me into its special office to tell me the secret special sauce, secret of things, but that's okay because like I like being part of a secret. And you can even think about that. You can find mantras are things that you repeat over and over again that kind of close down your brain from working, like the little gears in your brain, turning, working. Mantra is something that you repeat over and over again. Some people use om, om, but you can make up mantras like, I love myself, or I love the world, or whatever the mantra is. We'll talk more about mantras another time. I'm getting off the topic, but one of my biggest mantras is, I'm part of a secret. I'm part of a secret. And it's just amazing. Like, think about that. Just giving up all of your thoughts, giving up all of your worries and your anxieties to remember that the universe was created, it exploded with love and light into this big, gigantic world that was nothingness. God, words don't even explain it, but anyway. And think like, we don't know the purpose, but man, it's pretty freaking cool. So that's a start, okay? And if some of that is not helping, you guys can write me on Twitter and say, what are some of your other methods? I feel like my ongoing relationship with these podcasts is going to be talking about how to get through things. I just feel like that's sort of what I'm good at talking about, and definitely going to get into like the writing area. But I was talking about anxiety and depression, and I got away from the original thing, which is keep me in mind to never fall in love anymore, please. Let's get back to that. So I don't know if I've said this before. This is the problem. My memory's crazy. My memory's the craziest thing ever because I remember certain things like with vivid, emotional, and visual like pockets. It's like amazing. I remember things. But then other things like I can't even remember, whatever. But I may have said this before. And if I did, excuse me. And if I didn't, let's go. So if you sat down in a movie theater and the movie started and the movie was about this, let's say this girl, and she's got a pretty cool life. Her mom and dad love her and all's good. She goes to school and she graduates high school and she gets a new job, or she goes to college and everything goes amazing there. And then she goes and gets a job and she meets a guy or another girl that she falls in love with, whatever her preference is, it's amazing. And her life is great. And they live happily ever after. They joke at dinner table and you know where I'm going with this, like, and that's it. Then they die together. So there's no sadness, like they die together and there's no like, oh, one's missing the other. And that's the end. Like, who would pay money to watch that movie? I wouldn't. I mean, I like a little bit of drama. I like a little bit of trouble. I like to watch a story that's like, I wonder what's going to happen. And maybe in my brain, I think one thing's going to happen. And then the writers of the movie thought of something else. And I'm like, whoa, how'd they think of that? That's incredible. So our lives are like movies. And if everything went what we think of, quote unquote, perfect, like how awesome would that be? It wouldn't be awesome at all, honestly. It'd be pretty boring. And like we'd be bored and we'd find some way to drum up trouble. Like we're humans. We like a little bit of drama. We like a little bit of nonsense. We like a little bit of like, I don't feel good. And all that stuff. Like in those things, like we're experiencing emotion. We're experiencing life. We're breathing in life. So when you lose someone, whether it's a friend or whether it's a permanent loss, which I have suffered many of. I miss my mom and dad every day, and I miss friends that I've lost. But you have to remember, like, wow, this hurts, and you're experiencing hurt, and you're growing from learning what that feeling feels like. And I know it doesn't make it any better, but be in it. You're this beautiful, incredible, growing human being that's on this earth for like a speck of time. And you love and experience that. You know what love feels like. Oh man, and every time you love somebody, it feels different. So don't be afraid to love again. Don't shut your heart off and say, I'm not going to love anymore. I'm not going to do this. This is too painful. Like, falling in love or caring about someone is this incredible feeling. So you may not feeling like loving someone right now, but when the next opportunity comes and you feel your heart pulling at you, go for it. You'll be okay. You really will be okay. You've probably survived much worse, and right now you're just caught up in the loss of it, and loss is horrible. But again, the thing you have to do is you can't keep it inside. You have to like journal about it. You have to write about it. You have to talk it out. I used to sit in my room and talk out loud to myself, and they probably should have carted me off, but it helped, Express yourself. The most important thing is to express yourself. You cannot hold in loss. You have to let go, Letting go is a huge, amazing part of learning how to be a human, is letting go. I loved you, and now I have to let you go. And once I fully let you go, my heart will be ready to love again. So remember that cycle we were talking about, things go up and down, up and down, and up and down. You can see it like almost like when they're monitoring somebody's heart, and it's like blip, 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 blip. It goes up and down. The reason I prefer to see the cycle, the circles going around and round and round, is because it takes the edges off. And the easier we learn to ride the waves of life in a circle position, rather than like we go up and then we go down, and then we go up and then we go down, it's easier on us and our psyche. We want to learn how to weather things. We want to learn how to ride the wave of life. And that's what this is all about. That's really just one of the reasons we're here, is to learn how to digest and filter and manage and experience those things. And of course, the most important reason we're here is to learn how to love. So don't shut your heart off. You might feel like it right now. That's okay. But I want you to keep that little teeny tiny little bitty little spark of hope open for the next person that comes along. Okay? And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is these two really cool people online, Brioni_May and Ashton Pasta _ did a funny little fake journey online, and I think you guys are awesome. That was really cool. I don't know if any of you guys listening know these two people, but basically they made a joke that they were going to meet at this post office box that we have. And so then they were posting pictures of one another in these crazies, like, hey, I'm over here now, and wait, I'm in America, and wait, I'm in the clouds. And that was really cool. You got to be creative with your life, even when you're just not doing anything. You got to be creative. Keep your imagination pumping out ideas. So that will keep you sane, and that will make this crazy journey a little easier. So even if you just pick up a pencil and start scribbling stuff, listen, this is another important thing here, is stop using your brain for like 5 minutes a day, okay? Take your pencil, scribble a little something, make it look good, make it look bad, whatever it is. Like right now I'm just scribbling like a lion's mane, like scribbles. And then I'm going to add some eyes and his big teeth and stuff. And it looks like crap. But that thought is my brain. It looks like crap. Who cares? Dude, that came out of you. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Stop judging yourself. Stop using your head. Use your heart. Express yourself. Get that stuff out. Whether it's journaling, using a pencil or pen or some crayons, some paints, or turning on your voice notes and humming something into your voice notes. Like, just express yourself. It helps release the pressure valve of life. That's the truth. Okay? So I know this podcast wasn't the most, riveting. I didn't have you guys on the edge of your seat, but I thought it was important. And, If you guys have any ideas or some questions, please send them in. Some of the ideas I'll be able to do, some of them I won't, because I'm sort of stuck on a tour bus until some of this stuff whittles out of my life. Oh, there was one other question, hold on, that I really liked. Maddie Adams, who is at KMAD1030, said, hashtag Ask Anna, who's your favorite character from The Office? Oh my God. Well, I love Jim and Pam. Like, I love their love story. But I love Dwight. He's such a screwball. I love Michael. Like, I'm in the last couple seasons and I really miss Michael. But I do love, James Spader is just amazing. Robert California. I just think he's crazy. I just love him. So that's a really bad answer because I just basically gave you everybody. I love Meredith. I mean, I was crying the other day with something Meredith said, and tears were coming out of my eyes. I had to pause it, and I rewound it 3, 4, 5 times to watch her say it, and I just was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I just think the writers were incredible. I want to get into the UK office. That would be good but sometimes we can't do everything. Anyway, that's today. And I love all of you. If you're feeling like shit, it's okay. Feel like shit. This is part of life. Know what it feels like. But care about yourself. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. That's the most important thing. If you're feeling good, pick up a pencil. Hum into your phone. Do something. Go out. Have fun. I love you all. See you soon. Bye. That's where I put my dinosaur.